Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. And we're in a month of February, and let's continue from my previous video because I just gently touched on the timeline, historical timeline trigger event. And for me, it's very important just to put it out there, just to understand what we are going through. And this is actually nothing new under the sun. It's actually all these galactic wars are transpiring, and all this agenda of those negative aliens that they've been implementing here for thousands of years. This is the result of what we are going through, all these shootings and all these wars and the political arena and the conquer and divide, and how people just this programming, the mind control, and this entire infrastructure, this entire system, right, is in chaos. And we just have to make sense out of it. So very important to study the agenda of those negative aliens, the exopolitics. Again, here we are the star seeds on a Christos mission, and the indigo warriors, right? We are the path cutters, or the system busters, the renegades. We came here to be the change we want to see in the world, right? Just clearing the path for the young generation to then come in or step in and really make a difference and start creating or co-creating the new earth with the divine under the law of one with free will. So again, welcome, right? Lots of transformation, transmutation, right? The energies from the Super Bowl, right? With the kind of yesterday energies, we have this beautiful festive kind of atmosphere in a restaurant with these beautiful tulips, white and red, and beautiful candles, white candles in a red candle holder. So just that kind of atmosphere, right? It changes the frequency vibration. It was kind of interesting. It all went well. It's kind of was not that busy. It was very moderate, so lots of moderation there. So but lots of energy transforming, transmuting. I know Satya Sai Baba was there just to kind of override the energies of those black magicians, right? Of that negativity that is actually transpiring, that is happening. So many people are noticing, awakening. It's part of that ascension cycle with all these ascension symptoms. That's why we have the Ascension Guardian protocol, guys. And very important to take care of yourself, loving yourself, being compassionate with everything, right? Constantly judging and just kind of, we're better than them. And I'm reading a Bible while this lady, young girls, right, on a stage, in very provocative clothes, used to be a country singer, or used to, saying that she was a Christian, and look what she's doing, right? We came here to actually learn also our history, remembering, learn who we truly are, right? Understanding also like the karma or the negativity, how the structure operates, and how the kingdom of heaven is within, and we have to revive it, regenerate it. We have to reawaken all these beautiful powers, right? The gifts and talents, from that comes from our creator. We have to reawaken it and share it with the world and being of service. So that's kind of my message. That's kind of how I see how we exit the matrix of the archons of that negative structure, the virtual reality, the computer simulation, right? With all these proxy wars with Proxy Israel. And part of it is also knowledge and research, and like I said, studying the agenda of those negative aliens, feeling energies, understanding energies, learn how to transmute the darkness back into the light through the inner alchemy, right? Invocation of the violet flame. We have the teachings of the ascended masters now coming online, the true also origin, right? How America was founded upon the true teachings. And of course, we're going back to God, to Christ, to source. We are also changing our DNA from carbon-based DNA. We are going to crystalline DNA. And this is how we are overriding the structure of those negative aliens with their agenda, the controlling group, right? And even of the cabal of the Illuminati. And of course, some of them, they are choosing the positive timeline. They are choosing, help humanity. I have a protocol for them, a project, the Ashtar, right? We're the Ashtar ground crew. So we have a project for them. So this is all now kind of transpiring or awakening, surfacing. I don't know how you say that. Like, we're building the momentum, right? It's time to manifest our projects. It's time to manifest our mission, right? How we're helping others, so, and definitely also the galactic sun merging with our sun, right? That's why we're still actually in a sign of Aquarius. Tomorrow we are going to we're still in a sign of Capricorn. Tomorrow we are going into the sign of Aquarius. So very important just to observe, watch, detach, right? Just being the column of light shining bright. This is kind of the work that I do. Be the witness, like I said, and you're the consciousness, your awareness, you're all that is, and just slowly and surely through all these portals, cosmic portals, right? I mean, they're helping us. I mean, the cosmic beings and the galactics, right? So you are connecting to your higher self, to your sacred heart, sacred mind, and to the mind of God, instead of being mind controlled and being running all these reversals and being hooked to AI, right? And understand there's also AI that is positive, that recognizes the heart structure. So those are the hybrids. Like I represent also the hybrid group, right? The hybrid Anunnaki, and also have a contract with the Zetas, hybridization, hybrid children, and so on. So for us, like understanding kind of the AI, how it operates, like very important, but at the same time staying organic as much as possible, going outside nature, right? Mother Earth, Mother Nature is also helping us with healing, with transformation, and also take care of our environment, right? Very important to pray, to meditate for the entire world, seeing the entire world, right? In these loving energies or transformational energies of the violet flame. Thank you, Saint Germain, right? You can say the planet Earth is a planet of violet fire. The planet Earth is the purity God desires, right? So you can do some kind of positive affirmation, chanting, japa mantra, meditation, aligning yourself with the law of one, listening to solfeggio tones. I do 12D shielding, 12D wise. It's so important because we're dealing with AI technology that actually is 10D, 11D of the Dracos and of these fallen angelics, right? So because we're galactics, we're ETs, we're extraterrestrials, right? And here we're helping humanity, right, with their ascension, the angelic human race, that they were also designed with potential of 12 strands of DNA, and the connection to God, to source. It's that's their blueprint, how humanity were designed, having direct connection to God, to source, and just being loving co-creators with the divine under the law of one with free will. So from that chaos, right, we're bringing the cosmic order here, right? The emerald order, emerald covenant, right? The cosmic sovereign law. And so that's all transpiring, it's all happening, it's all about tuning in. So doing the inner work, right? Being your heart, love yourself unconditionally, taking care of yourself. So that's the way to go. And I know we were talking about, right, all this Lemurian Holocaust, Atlantean Holocaust, the Luciferian Rebellion, the Armageddon program 26,000 years ago, guys, right? The Atlantean cataclysm, the abuse, misuse of highly advanced technology. That's actually that's transpiring. The Earth core power generator crystal grid explosion. That's all happened. That happened 30,000 years ago, right? And then you have these breeding, females taken to Nibiru, right, for forced breeding. And he wrote down the Emerald Tablet. All this Hermetism, esoteric Kabbalah, the mystery school, the secret societies, right? They're hiding the ancient knowledge from common people, but not only that, they were perverting it, and they were twisting everything, because they themselves, right, forgot who they truly are. And they were kind of hand in hand with those other rogue alien races from the Visa system. So we had all this Essene massacre, Essene breeding, right? The Ascension timeline rebellion 22,000 years ago. So the negative aliens, right? They negotiate agreements for Earth territories and humans for workers, sex or slave colonies, galactic trading of Earth resources, and reptilian ownership of Earth humans. 22,000 years ago, you have the Ascension timeline rebellion. You see how everything is transpiring. And then we have the Celtic massacre, Druid massacre or sacrifices, right? All this genocidal agenda going on to eradicate Celtic kings, Grail DNA, and Melchizedek Christ teachings, right? which actually Yeshua, he was he, you know, he had that the teachings and the DNA of the Essenes and of the Melchizedek, right? He represents the blueprint of the universal Melchizedek. And then the Rh negative, right? So they were being hunted. The Rh negative, some people think that has to do with reptilians. I think Lisa Renee was mentioning that actually with this, with the star humans, with angelic humanity, has to do with our ET DNA. And those are actually very powerful bloodline. We know how to transmute the karma, and the negative ones, right? They're trying to constantly overimpose their karmic load on those who are of that cosmic lineage or of that Essene lineage, who are the star seeds, right? So I'm on a path of karma, but again, enough is enough. That's why we have the Cosmic Law Evolution Edict. We have a project for those negative aliens with their agenda. I have a project for my soul group. I ended up in, you know, military, in MC, right? Terroristic organization under MIC, three-letter agency under DARPA, right? So time to, like I said, consolidate, time to mobilize, right? Align with the law of one and be the God flame in action, the love in action. Then we have this Viking invasion 22,000 years ago, so, and spreading false records about Celtic lineages and Druid lineages, okay? And the Luciferian covenant 500 years ago, 11,500 years ago. That's the anti-human, antichrist agenda. It's taking over the planet from those negative aliens. You see how everything is transpiring. It's controlled by the Luciferian forces, and it's called the Luciferian covenant. And all these lunar outposts, moon colonies, sexual misery program 11,500 years ago. The moon is a craft stolen from war and is stripped to be refitted for its use as a human, reptilian, gray alien base. So that's where they're hiding. And they are transmitting mind control and the Neburium electrostatic transduction. The Nephilim reversal grid, right? And that's where they're actually trapping this energy from our soul. That's why they're keeping us in extremely low frequency vibration, right? All this pollution, you know, degradation, GMO, you know, chemtrails, boom, 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 fluoride in the water, in a toothpaste, all this, the white sugar, and eating too much meat. Humanity were not designed to eat meat. That's, to me, that's the fusion also with some animals, right? Whether it was the Neanderthals, I don't know, you know. So but usually humanity, their DNA, you're the universal library, you're of that ethereal nature, right? You're cosmic, you're galactic, you know. You are multidimensional, you are supersonic, right? You are sound, light, frequency, vibration, the light from the cosmic father, right? The sound from the cosmic mother. Here we are resurrecting the new you know, human races, right? That's the child, you're a child of God, you know. So being also vegan, I would say, or vegetarian, you know, the superfood diet, guys, it's extremely important. That's how you're helping activating your crystalline DNA. That's who you truly are, right? And of course, it's lots of purging, cleansing, right? And you know, ascension symptoms, but it's part of the process of the ascension of the transition to the next harmonic universe. Number 2, right? Soul connection, conscious and expansion. You're the light of the soul. So that's what happens when we are here trapped in low vibe and all this 5G and all this mind control and violent religion and even science, academia, or mainstream media, right? They're telling us who we are not. How people forget that you're light, your soul, your energy, your sound, your sacred geometry. And so connection to that inner Christus, Holy Spirit, right? Very important. So we're providing the tools how to re-energize yourself, how to rejuvenate, regenerate, and we're going through huge, big recalibration. Okay, so start being true to you and taking care of yourself very well. Spiritually selfish, right? So then the Atlantean flood is 11,500 years ago. There was the takeover, destruction of Giza Stargate. So that's the 4D portal. So the Giza intelligence, you have the Nazis there on the moon, Mars, right? And also the chakras, how they hijack our chakras. Those are the star seeds or the indigo warriors, right, with the zeta seal, and how they the 2D 4D split, right, how people are even like disconnected from their heart if they're in relationship, or the whole sexual misery. We'll read about it, how they all started, and surface flood and Holocaust, right? 10,000 years ago we have Sumerian Egyptian invasion. So that was the takeover of Iran, Iraq. That's the 10th gate. And all these Middle East settlements and organizing Brotherhood of the Snake. It was from the Atlantean timeline in that region. That's why with all these, those proxy wars with proxy Israel, right? And they just want to take over. And that's the control. It's just to control, manipulate us through our chakras and through stargates and through these grids. They damage the crystalline grid, the diamond sun grid. They destroying our diamond sun DNA, destroying our consciousness, right? So happening 1,000 years ago. We have the Knight Templar invasion, Essene Templar massacre 9,500 years ago. Takeover of Celtic Templar lines. The negative aliens attempt to create super race of controllers for Earth. Genetic elitism, lineage of Freemasonry, massacre of those who do not comply. Right? So even though, there are like lots of Rosicrucians, I mean the secret societies, and those also are the bloodlines, but we came here on a Christos mission, or we're highly deviant souls. We came here to override the binary consciousness of the Dracos, or of this hybrid Anunnaki, of those rogue aliens, right? And so on. And so there's constant war going on, and you see the light and dark, right, how it's all transpiring. The psychological warfare, and they have AI militarized electronic warfare technology, right? They connect you to the Internet of all things. So see how this kind of propaganda going on. Some of those even football players, right, and all these interesting young singers, right, from being Christian and from being a country girl, right? And here we go, you're on a stage, and just totally demonic, extremely dark energies going on in that aura energy field through all this mind control programming. And doing the energy work, transformational work, healing, very important. God sovereignty boundary, 12D shielding, right? Have that armor of God, Karaya Sata Allah, very important. Go to nature, barefoot, connect to that crystal core, Mother Earth, Mother Nature, singing, chanting, meditation, reciting a sacred text, right? That's how we are overriding the frequency of those negative aliens. And then you have the Centaurian Wars 8,000 years ago. The Alpha Centaurian races attempt takeover on Earth from other negative alien races. Manipulation of Stonehenge, 11D timeline, guys. We're dealing with aliens, those negative ETs and so on. They know how to even move the stargates, the orbit of the planets, right? They understand the energies, they understand your energy field, the erasing memory from electromagnetic field and blocking us from ascending. They're blocking that's what they were, blocking the stargates, right? This whole mind control. So it's time to illuminate our senses, right? Time to do the inner work, the ascent, being on the ascension path, and just kind of awakening, opening our heart, and remembering who we truly are. That's how we override their agenda. Then the Mayan invasion 5,500 years ago, genocidal agenda to eliminate all 12-strand DNA bloodlines from Maya tribes related to those that had ascended and traveled a planet. So we had ETs back then, but the Sumerian Babylonian massacre 5,500 years ago, that's where they were unplugging us from DNA, right? Identity and consciousness memory erased. And then they were confounding DNA, language, and even signals. We used to speak light languages too. That was normal. Atlantean, Lemuria, to me, just very precious times in Lemuria. I understand that, like beautiful nature, waterfalls, crystalline consciousness, working with crystals, healing, levitating, spacecraft. What's going on? You have a car on diesel, right? That's how we are not supposed to work. and also glandular malfunction. So that's why the glandular work very important. Where's the pineal gland, the pituitary gland, the amygdala, the hypothalamus, guys. So that's why the decalcification of pineal gland very important, because through tududu, right, and through the fluoride water, they don't want you to know that there's a crystal inside of the brain that you can connect to cosmos, your cosmic being. So Djoser invasion 5,000 years ago. That's the Saqqara in Egypt invasion from the 5D wormhole. That's, they can create, they have technology, they can create wormholes, the black hole technology, beast machine, right? The alien machine. They have black cube technology, red wave frequency, and so on. So, we're dealing with extremely highly advanced alien races. And so they are infiltrating, right, the entire infrastructure, portals, and the blood sacrifice. That's what comes from them. Those negative aliens, they are using advanced satanic ritual abuses underground, and it's in underground. It's for power. 5,000 years ago. Again, there's nothing new under the sun. Then there's a Dead Sea Wars and Masada massacre 4,000 years ago. So there is a war in the region to maintain control in the Middle East, destruction of many cities in that area, and then Essene groups were tracked down and massacred. 3,600 years ago, the Hyksos king invasion and exodus, Saqqara, negative alien forces infiltrate Egyptian pharaohs' lines, right, through Thutmose. So lots of the Egyptian timeline, like I know that, my dad, the hybrid Anunnaki, there's something, the Illuminati bloodline, the lineage is with me, like when also, the red shield, the hot shield, and so on. So those were pharaoh lineages, extremely powerful lineages, right? And that's what happens when, so many of us that we were massacred, or the women were forced breeding. So that's why like I say, I'm the Jesuit and the Jew, like I am the Oraphim with the Nephilim, like I am the Nazi and the Jew, or I have the Luciferian Satanic with the Christos Estin lineages. We are all mixture because of all this breeding and with all this massacre and all these agendas and DNA mutation and all this experimentation, right? So I'm on that karmic lineage, and the ancestral lineage, right? Especially also like in relationships, on the family structure, that all needs to be healed, right? That all needs to be transformed, transmuted, so you become the Christos star warriors, right? And become the human cosmic star humans. And I also am part of that already hybrid structure, right? I've also contract with the Zetas, the hybridization, hybrid children. So that was the Hyksos king invasion and exodus 3,600 years ago. Okay, so they're massacring the Egyptian, or the infiltration of the Egyptian pharaoh lines lineages, right? Then you have the Israel and Jerusalem crusades 3,500 years ago. So you have the genocidal campaigns to eliminate all humans with Essene Templar knowledge. Okay, and all these genetics, tribe 2, I think that's Stargate 2, genetics in the landmass of Israel. Yeah. All this infiltration, massacre happening for thousands of years. Hatshepsut invasion 3,400 years ago. Hatshepsut Heights are so there was a height portal technology. They're protecting portal system, right, from all this draconian entities. Her brother was draconian. He was under draconian control, and finalizing Hyksos expulsion from Egypt. So Akhenaten fall and murder. So he was murdered because he was for the law. One, he wanted to help those souls who were trapped in those false timelines, in those false wormholes, right? He wanted to overthrow the Amun priest, the snake, right? That Luciferian brotherhood. He wanted to overthrow and totally cancel or end the cycle of the blood sacrifice. Okay, that's what he was wanting to do. But he was murdered. There was a family murderous plot. Character assassination campaign, and now you see him like as an Luciferian, the OTO, the Ordo Templi Orientis, the Luciferian Templars, and so on, and you see how the history is distorted. So very important to understand the true ancient history, the cosmic galactic history, right? So then we can correct our consciousness, our perception, our DNA, right? And start living in truth. in beauty and harmony. Information is light, right? So if we have misinformation, so there's distortion in our light body, or distortion in our in our brain, neurotransmitters, right? Synapses and so on, distortion in our mind, in our heart, right? So also the knowledge, make sure you have the true knowledge, right? Destruction of the Solomon temple 3,000 years ago, that's what happened. So you have the Grail Stargate takeover through Ark technology. So they even stole the Ark technology, genocide again of the human tribe. And the Hyksos, they're trying to take over through King Solomon. And then the negative aliens, they're destroying the temple and holographic grid. No, then you have the Iron Age, Christosophia, Jesus Christ mission 2,000 years ago or so, right? So there was the Sirius B Christos mission to repair Giza, the Giza Stargate, that's already a fourth dimension, the heart chakra, and Stonehenge Stargate, that's 11th dimension, right? So they were doing the timeline repair grid work to prepare for the Ascension 2012 timeline here, guys, and reclaim your Christos Diamond Sun body, reclaim your Christos Diamond Sun DNA. So claim your power back, right? Resurrect all the energies from all the massacre and genocide and distortion and forced breeding, and that's the molecular compaction, right? And the lunar false magnetism and all this MK Ultra and mind control, and just from all these toxins and poisons, right? So it's time is now to claim your power back from all these draconian kind of measurements and the Roman and Draconian invasion 2,000 years ago, right? And they even infiltrated the Greek sacred text. They infiltrated everything. And also Italy, and then they built the Church of Rome and spread the negative alien religious mind control through Catholicism, and they were to retaliate for those who were in Christos mission. And they were collecting the martyrs' blood, so no more murder and all this stuff. So Council of Nicaea, that happened 325, right? So 1700 years ago, the negative aliens and Luciferian Knights Templar, they cover story to hide the Christos mission and humanity's star origins. You come from the star constellation, your star beings, your ETs, your extraterrestrials. All this false alien, God worshipping, blood sacrifice based religion that became the canonized Bible. You see how it's very important to understand that, guys, and I understand, some of these even young, they're Christians, young generation Christians or religious or Bible, and they are taking the Bible script and judging those young singers there, right? Musicians, artists who used to claim that they were Christians and reading Bible or playing country music and so on. But if you look at the true history, right, and it's like we think, oh, we're better than them, and now we're just reading the Bible, and we're not on a stage or podium with this very extravagant, black kind of sadistic clothes, right? People are just looping that it's the same thing. You think you're better than those singers, there, musicians, artists, by reading Bible and so on. If you start reading and true history, the historical timeline, trigger event, Ascension Glossary, you'd be surprised how much of course of that Anunnaki kind of satanic and Luciferian structure is in that book, in that Bible. Okay. And then you have the Armageddon mind control, right? The 700 years ago intentional spreading of violent world religions based on satanic blood sacrifice, holy wars, and worshiping alien father, a false father god, okay, the king of tyranny, right? Armageddon mind control linked to Atlantean cataclysm and human genocidal campaigns. And then you have 1400 years ago, that was the invasion of United Kingdom to take over territory in 11 Stargate. They were killing Templar, Grail King Arthur and his support team, right? That was the 12, the round table, right? That was the Avalon and Camelot, right? Look at this. All this invasion, United Kingdom, the last benevolent Grail King, right? That was the King Arthur. We're resurrecting the codes of the true Christos Essene Templars. Okay, that's King Arthur. He was actually he was in the Ruby Sun DNA. So reclaiming our Ruby Sun DNA, because that was merged with AI and it was merged with the Luciferian and Satanic forces. Okay. And it was very depraved. Let me see, the false king of tyranny replaces rulership, right? And so on. So then you have the violent religious wars 1,000 years ago. That was the Draconian Christian crusades for this human blood sacrifice, soul binding. So that's why I have the project for the military, right? You have to clear all that. You have to free yourself from the soul binding, from that blood covenant, and from that blood sacrifice. Okay. So claim your power back, right? And end those contracts with those archons. Okay, those negative alliance. And of course, you have to free yourself from the crucifixion implants, very important. All this martyrdom, the Martin blood alien machinery on earth, and it generates black heart system. That's how they are shattering your diamond crystalline heart, your diamond sun DNA. They're shattering your consciousness, and those guys found themselves in the electrostatic bodies with that black heart system, the anti-lab reversals on the grid, and that's what it's running the spin in their light body. It's the infection in their light body, and through that gallbladder meridian, right, it seeps through into your cellular matrix. Then you have the Qatar genocidal massacre 780 years ago, and the Cathars were trapped and burned alive in southern France. So that's the 1208, 1244. And that was the attempt to eliminate the Essene Templar knowledge outside control of the church. And then you have the American Crusades, Native American Holocaust 500 years ago. They just were eliminate the indigenous lines. They had Templar knowledge of earth grids. So time to do again the earth grids, right? The Templar work, especially, right? Also in the political arena, Washington D.C., Pentagon, right? The White House, and so on. The Native Americans, they were trained by those star beings, right? How to take care of the land, and how to do the grid work, and all these ceremonies, and all this dancing, and how to just kind of all these souls, they were trapped, right, in the astral plane, either help them, transport them, right, free them, right, or how to kind of resurrect the soil and also of that land, and the lineage, right? So very important. Lots of Americans, they're awakening also to their mission, right? Very important to do that. So drumming, and have your sacred fire and dancing, right, and start reviving your culture. Very important to reawaken to our culture, who we truly are. That's why I think it's very important, like even for me, being born in Eastern Europe and understanding the culture of the Slavic people. Slava, it means celebration. Not somebody in English was translating as slave. No, we're celebrating the God, the divine. Slava being Bohem. Bohem is always with God. Love for God. You are the beloved. You're one with God, and you're celebrating it each and every day, right? You don't need just one day in a year. The February 14. For me, the only holiday I really resonate with, and I kind of celebrate it on an energy level, more on that physical level, because I don't eat turkey, is the Thanksgiving Day. I always imagine Native American sitting together, like with the those who came from UK or Britain, came to America, right? They were celebrating the harvest, and for everything that the land provides, and they were sitting around fire and eating corn, and they were so grateful and thankful that those Native Americans were teaching them how to plant seed and how to grow their fruits and vegetables, because the Native Americans, right, they know how to fuse with nature. They understand, they know how to track animals, and they need a meat, they would have a ceremony, right? They would understand if they need a buffalo, right? Buffalo needed to go, so they were preparing for all that. So it's written in their DNA. And so with these energies coming online, even the Ascension, right, symptoms and so on, and I know that some of them, they're in reservation, they're awakening to their true original history, culture, tradition. So very important for all of us, each of us, right? Remembering who we truly are. But this is just mind-boggling. What was happening? What is it? The 250 years ago. That's the Niburian in the intervention, Nephilim reversal grid implants, sexual misery, mind control. Here we go, guys. Negative aliens. The Galactic Federation starts to contact their lineages for channeling and propaganda for preparation of the New Age. So even, of course, the New Age was hijacked, right? So you have to be very careful with all these clone and all these imposter spirits in that energy field in the astral plane, right? And now it's transpiring with those cosmic energies. That's why everything is surfacing. That's why people think the world is going crazy. No, it's been here for hundreds or thousands of years like that, right? It's just because of the cosmic energy and because we're ascending, things are changing, right? That's why everything is surfacing even more on that visible plane, on that surface level, even for civilians, because that stuff was also done mostly for military, those guys that were joining military, right? So, and now things are surfacing even on that here on that civilian level as well. So, and sexual misery, mind control implants for harvesting human creative sexual energies. We're the co-creators with the divine, and those ladies, right, with the serpent power, or who are the tantra practitioner, right? I guess introducing tantra yoga to military. And here we go, you got Men in Black, and you got military psychological operations, and you got revenge, right? So time to take a breath and just kind of take a pause, relax, right? Namaste. Start loving yourself and start doing all these corrections, you know. Time to evolve, time to grow, learning how to take care of yourself, how to be compassionate with yourself, while claiming your power. Also claim your mind back from all this mind control and free yourself from all these crucifixion implants, right? From the alien AI hybrid nanotechnology, from through boom 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 CCP jabs and so on, right? Freeing yourself from the Nazi Neuralink, guys. So that's why all these ascension symptoms, right, they're coming online, and all this purging, you know, of course it's happening. It's withdrawals, right? So it must feel horrible, but at the same time, if you hold on to that divine spark within that sacred chamber of your heart, remember there's an altar. You can go each and every day and pray and meditate and do some tapping, emotional freedom techniques, right? And just, you know, those also who do qigong, right? You know, so you just kind of know how to, you know, do some cleansing, clearing the glandules, the lymphatic system. And of course, when you're fasting and drinking the distilled water, right, you're decalcifying the pineal gland, guys. So that all needs to go. And if you go to nature, connect to the crystal core or Mother Earth, Mother Nature, and say some prayers and meditation, voila, right? Miracles happen. So, oh my goodness, then Aleister Crowley, black magic, mainstream Satanism, 115 years ago. So alien abduction, or you have now the alien abductee cooperate with Zeta infiltration of Earth grid network, they set up satanic black magic grid, blood sacrifice portals, and they become human energy harvesting network. Okay, and all this OTO, right? And the thought, Anunnaki, Telema, or do what you want. And they say, they believe like the law is law, but it's under will, under their tyranny. Love under their tyranny. Just study the Aleister Crowley, the Telema language, and it's 1902. Right? And also here in the UK, but also in America and in the military. This is nothing new under the sun, guys. All these abduction and all this infiltration, blood sacrifice, black magic, Satanism. Here we go. In 1917, you have Zeta cooperate with Orion Group for negative alien takeover agenda, human enslavement, and territorial control. Also, what happens? It's the Black Sun program, World War, satanic ritual abuse agenda, right? So they're poking holes in Earth protective grid. Orion and Zeta groups orchestrate world wars to weaken electromagnetic field, nuclear bombs, and infiltrate portals by ripping holes in the time-space fabric. So this is all about domination, infiltration. That's why all this World War I, World War II, right, is there the agenda. The Zetas, the Orion group, right? The Nephilim, with their Nephilim reversal grid. So already it's been established even or after or during the World War One. And then you have, was in 1932, we have Zeta contacted the world governments for military technology and human trade, gray alien weaponry, holographic insert, time travel technology. Majestic 12, Zeta gray alien trade agreements. Okay, and then before World War II, after World War I, you have sophisticated machinery and implants are inserted into planetary field designed to capture souls and blood sacrifice for negative alien agenda during war and killing. That's why they need it, because they live off of us. They live off of our energies, right? They are keeping us in low frequency vibration, all this killing, massacre, mind control, the genocidal agenda, transgenderism, because it's feeding their black Anubis heart. Okay? And they are perpetuating the war economy and world slavery. Okay? 1936, 1937. Okay? So you have, 1942 is Orion-controlled Nazi groups go underground and they infiltrate power elite, intelligent groups, the Nordic alien technology and Ashtar experiments to mind control the public. All this learn helplessness, the Pavlovian kind of, thing, Pavlovian conditioning, And then we have black operations, secret space programs, space colonies, human trafficking, 1942. How come this is not taught in a history or in school, in academia, in universities, in colleges? US government splinters off into assorted secret interest groups to research, study, and hide alien contact and alien technology from the public. Galactic human slave trade becomes highly organized. How come I didn't know these kind of things, right? And then you have 1977. The Orion groups recruit more reptilian races to join with the negative aliens to prepare for the final conflict war over timelines. The timelines was 2012, 2017. So, and here we go. The star seeds now, right? We have to take our stand. The Pleiadians and Syrian agreement. So 1982, the Galactic Federation makes agreement to support Ascension timeline. Oh, that was just as front to gain total control over the intended hijack of the New Age spiritual movement. So, of course, they're infiltrating star seeds, and especially in the military. And, especially, those who are also in the political arena, economy, science, religion, mainstream media and entertainment industry. And to look what's happening with this young generation there, right? And also, I remember was Britney, and she was still very young. She was interviewed, and suddenly, right, she's making those kind of funny moves, and people think, oh, she needs to go to psychological or psychiatric institution. And all at that time, I was kind of going through my own stuff. I saw this Zeta, the gray, standing next to her, and he had this kind of remote control machine, and I think he was pushing at buttons because they implant you. Those who are also those who are the actors there and musicians and so on, they have all kinds of implants and chips. They're also being mind control, and especially when you live in Hollywood, Beverly Hills, there are all these underground tunnels there to the museum, right? All the secrecy going on, and they can actually infiltrate you through your dreams, right, in that astral plane and so on. And those ladies, right, they change their behavior, they disconnect themselves, they are disconnected from their soul, from their true purpose, they totally forget who they are, and they are serving the agenda then of those negative aliens. They're on a stage, this interesting lyrics, this interesting music is actually extremely demonic, right? From white dress, now they're wearing the black dress, right, and so on. And then they are dating all these interesting football players, and time to do yoga, time to meditate, time to go outside nature and say some prayers. And then we had the Necrometon invasion. That was 1987. The Orion group recruits Necrometon for negative alien control strong arm on Earth to assist enforcement and compliance in the joint military complex Black Op and secret space programs Men in Black. 1987. And we had the harmonic convergence. I was very much activated. I remember that I was receiving all these the A grades in my school. I was doing so great. I was so elevated. I was 12 years old, and I was just like, what is happening with me? Oh my goodness! And I didn't know that actually they were activating me for my mission, because it was such a wonderful year for me. 1987. I totally so somebody has to come and balance these energies, right? Of the Men in Black, Secret Space Program, all these MIC, the Black Op operations, and so on, right? And so 1992, what happened? We have the anti-herogamic spawn in Peru, Stargate to destroy genetic equal. That's why, how come I cannot connect with my soul group, my soul sibling in the military, in the Marines? How come? You have the anti-herogamic technology. They want you to fight in relationships, right? And especially like in the military, if you are either married or sexually involved, like all these sex games going on there, right? So here we go. And they're putting AI reversals in your aura, energy field, energy body, in your mental body, emotional body, right? Through these astral planes, because they think they're so invisible. And all this, the alien love bite. I think there's even a book, Alien Love Bite, and how, in military, especially how it's military, the relationship, right? How people are constantly fighting with each other and screaming and shouting and yelling and all this conquer and divide and horrible things. And what is it, the unfaithfulness, right? Other partners, and how this is all being programmed by AI. You have necrometons, all these love bites. So voila, okay? And all this Black Lilith, Azazel, this Antichrist, Sophia, those the lunar forces, the Batman network, the black magic grid, right? So when you start understanding those things, you can you can make a difference. You can heal yourself from all that, detach from all that. In 2000, there was the Edict of War against starseeds. So you see, we've been attacked, indigos, right? Angelic human population. So the negative alien group, they offer a hostage agreement to allow evacuation of selected humans by Lyran Syrian guardian races. And before intended, there's the Armageddon destruction agenda or pole shift. That was in 2000. Oh my God, there are all kinds of agreements, there are edicts. And then, of course, we have the 9/11 timeline, trigger event, New World Order agenda for AI false timeline propagation. So anyway, let me end here, guys. Oh my goodness, I didn't know that it's taken so long, but I think it's very important to understand that. Also very important where I am coming from, because I'm including these knowledge. So when I'm reading this knowledge, I'm including in my videos, right? That's why I would say probably people don't understand that much. But once you start dive deep into the agenda of those negative aliens, start reading it, meditating, doing your own spiritual work or cleansing work, working on your mission. You have your own platform, your own hologram. You're raising your frequency vibration, right? Raising the potency and so on. Then you are crystallizing your mission. You are crystallizing your project. You are crystallizing your role, why did you come here, right? What you came here to do. You are serving others, right? You're sharing your gifts and talents, and you're making a difference. So let's be the change that we want to see in the world. Many blessings and namaste. Bye-bye.